Hey, here in northwestern Ohio, and I want to show you what I do to control weeds around the edge of my pond. You live out here in the country in Ohio, and most of the homes here have a pond with them if you live out in the rural areas. I would say over half of the homes have a pond. And one of the reasons why is the water table is so high in this area of Ohio that if you dig a hole, it just fills up with water automatically and makes a pond. So, excuse me, when they build a house, they need dirt to mound up to build the house up a little bit higher so the basement doesn't flood. It reduces the hydraulic pressure on the walls of the basement, and it makes the basement less susceptible to flooding. So what they do is they dig a big hole, mound up the dirt, and then when they mound up the dirt, they dig the hole to build the basement and build the home. And the big hole that's left over, basically, you're left with a pond, kind of a nice bonus. And the groundwater here is so high in sulfur that you need a softener to get the sulfur taste out of your water, and even then it might still taste like sulfur. So what to do is, the pond is mainly rainwater, although it is groundwater, it's mainly rainwater too. And so this is the source of the water for my home water system, is the pond. So I try not to use any chemicals at all on the edge of the pond or anything that would run into my pond. I have to be super careful about that. No herbicides, no insecticides. Be careful about dumping oil or spilling anything here on the property. And I get weeds, and the weeds are just a mess. They make the pond look like crap, but more importantly, all that stuff dies and that vegetation ends up in the pond, and it adds to the level of muck in the bottom of the pond. So I really need to have a solution to deal with the weeds, and I'll show you what I do to do that. This area right here is about medium or slightly bad. Some areas that get less sun aren't as bad. This area is somewhat bad. I've had it, other areas are completely worse. But I'm still gonna pull my weeds in this area right here. And I'll pull them down to, you know, everything that's 2 inches or greater will get pulled. And all the big stuff will come out. And then I will come by and I'll show you what I'm gonna do, my new treatment that I just learned about to take care of all the weed problems in my pond. Let me take you over to the other side and show you one of the badder areas of my pond. Okay, this is a typical area right here on my pond. It's really bad. Coming up over here, and man, my back would just ache for days. I could only go at it for an hour or two at a time, and I would just be completely sore and frustrated with trying to control these weeds. And I would pick a section of weeds out and do the whole pond section by section, and then I'd come back, and 2 to 3 weeks later everything would be grown back up again, and I would have to do it all over again, and it was driving me crazy. And I wanted to spray Roundup, but I don't dare spray Roundup because this is my home drinking water right here. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to pick a section of weeds, and I'm going to show you what I do to kill them all down really good. And then, as you can see, I didn't even really do that good of a job. I mean, I ran down it pretty quick. There was some already a lot of bare areas in here. But like in right here, I didn't even spend a lot of time because I know what's coming next, and there's no point in killing myself anymore or my back to get these weeds done. Let me show you my newfound treatment.
Say hello to my little friend!
Okay, everybody that wrote down weed burner, move to the head of the class. And this is my weed burner from Harbor Freight, and it ain't the water bong kind of weed burner. It's the ginormous torch. I call it the Backsaver 4000. A lot of flame, a lot of propane here, a lot of heat, and it will immediately wilt and kill everything from on the surface really well. Allow me to demonstrate. As an added bonus, I can even get this little border area, but I have to be careful I don't light my grass on fire. Alrighty, and as you can see, it does a really good job. Let me give you a close-up of what I did. It just took maybe 10 minutes to do that run, and I think the weeds are going to be gone for at least a month or two now. Let me show you here. You can see where there was once weeds, there are no more. It burns it and wilts it all the way down to the root. It only takes a second. If you hit it for just even a second or two, it really destroys, especially all that little stuff that you can't really get to. It just burns it, takes care of it. It's done, it's gone. Get you a close up here of how well it really works. All right, so I've had this for just a couple days now, and you can see I've gotten over half of my pond complete. Picked all the tall weeds and burned all the shorties, and I have a little bit less than half of my pond to go, but I do have some weed pulling to go before I'm done. Advantage is it really works good, saves your back, it is fast. And now as long as I don't wait until it gets tall again, I can come right back when it's short and just hit it again. I won't have to ever pull weeds again. And another added benefit is it pleases my inner pyromaniac. Actually get a perverse sense of satisfaction burning these weeds, especially after all the grief that they've caused me last year. So I would highly recommend getting one of these. I think it's great, and it keeps the edges of my pond really clean. It's only going to work, it won't work for spot areas. You can't hit weeds in individual locations. It indiscriminately kills everything in its path, but it does a really good job. So consider getting yourself one.